Stream time!
We're streaming.
Hello,
Going
Internet!
live.
Greetings.
Welcome
It's Ace
to...
Attorney time again, finally.
I'm back.
Good intro. No need to do it again.
Sorry about talking over you there.
Because we were both starting our streams at slightly different times. Alright, we'll go one sentence and then trade back and forth. Hello,
Okay.
Internet.
It's Ace Attorney time.
We're going to continue case 4.
Maybe even finish it.
Wouldn't that be fun, kids?
Oh, yes, this is what we were doing.
Oh, that's right.
If nothing else, I'd like to get through the end of this trial.
Yeah.
Even if there's another day of
Yeah.
instigation.
Yes, I have to load up the various streams so that I can keep track of them.
I believe you were Mr.
Oh,
Gavin.
yeah, sorry, I was looking away.
What were you looking at?
I was getting your stream up on my... over here.
Why am I suddenly offline?
What?
I don't know. I was on the thing and looking at... Ugh. Come on. Continue.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Everything's back. It's fine.
Cool. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open.
Go, what? I want to throw at him.
Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I'd noticed if one or two went missing, I'm afraid.
Are we doing couples therapy? Is that what this is?
Yes, it's exactly what this is.
That bully thing in the victim's back really was one of ours. You'll have a job proving it, I think. Who wants Santa Judge?
I'll be Santa Judge.
Alright.
Oh, it sounds as though the battlefield in your household is quite the battlefield, too.
Come at me, scrub, that evening.
Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, I'm veterans such as myself. It's only too aware that on every battlefield, there's a knight's whisker from death at any moment.
Whiskers?
Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Is there some sort of marital Marshall joke that's gonna happen at some point?
Possibly.
I know someone did say Marshall instead of marital in a previous stream.
But was that a mistake?
Yeah, accidentally.
'Cause I think it was me.
I think it was you, yeah. But I don't know that the game the game has done it yet.
I must say, I am dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife.
Such an aggressive Santa.
Because I can't because I have no timbre or bass to my voice. This is the best I got.
But it's just so, like, angry. Like,
Santa's pissed right now.
Santa's fucking pissed.
Everyone get down. Santa's got a gun.
In combat,
Oh god, he's got a gun.
in combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. Santa has too many better things to do than be at this trial. Yep. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end.
Von Zeeks may well be right.
Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruto.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Stop
Very
the
well.
music!
Fuck that shit. Begin your cross-examination. Ah,
Woo!
I'm trying to figure out if this is the faster up-tempo one. I think it is.
I think it might be. I think you're right.
The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garrett.
A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mr. Garrett found the note, discovering her husband's little secret.
Mrs. Garrett.
And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too. Good for her.
what a sordid state of affairs.
Hell on earth.
Do you have experience with that, Van Zeeks?
I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up.
Fear in that man's eyes.
Fun fact, Van Zeeks was not talking about cheating, he was just talking about marriage in general.
Besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway.
Sir? Sir? Blink twice if you need help.
He's blinking
Okay.
a lot. He's blinking a lot more than twice. What's blinking 50 times mean?
I think that means help, 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 dear God, help me.
Every second I need more help than the previous second.
I already forgot what. A lovely story.
These waters run very deep.
And what transpired next after these multiple blows to the face?
He's becoming a little Brimley. Little wolf.
Little dark leaders.
Alright. So we set everything and then
And then open the window.
And the fire also spread to some items of furniture, didn't it?
The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine, really. Just so happens there was some bath water around that evening, so I sloshed that about to put it out.
Most precarious situation you put yourself in.
Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. Have to draw water from a public water pump during the day if you need any, you see.
What does an old mum that can't get in water at night? Well, that little mustache Japanese man bought water in bottles, I believe.
The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yeah, whatever. He received a stipend for his studies, you know, from his own country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? Obviously, very well off.
Have you actually seen the state of the man?
I believe he uses all his income to buy books. Same.
Well, anyway, point is, I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough.
Well, for you, it's board games.
Well, now it's board games,
Ne-
but...
Just, why doesn't...
Hmm?
How do they know he buys water bottles and doesn't just buy bottles to then go to the water pump and fill bottles of water? What stops them from doing that?
Also, bear in mind, there aren't, like, plastic water bottles, too, so, like...
It doesn't cost that much for a single glass bottle that you'll probably use forever.
Right.
Kid don't got an answer to that one.
That fancy man and his containers for water.
Who does he think he is?
How are you supposed to? I'm just carrying all this water in my hands. I can't keep it all night.
Hold it!
I just lapped from the public fountain. Like a child at a water fountain. Even though the room was on fire?
Thought I was gonna do it at the time. You're more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a Susada takedown. It's not her now.
How did she know I was thinking that?
And it wasn't even blue text. She legitimately
Yeah, now it.
tried.
He didn't even do an inner monologue of that.
She read his thoughts before we knew what they were.
Yeah.
So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day?
Honestly, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out I'm not a monster. Let me see. Bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, sponge. Oh, he reacted.
One of these things triggered him, and I don't know which one.
He saw it flash before his eyes.
Oh god.
Excuse me, do you have something to add, sir?
Oh, I like that little
yeah.
spin he did with the pipe.
Yeah, I like that.
Mr. Garadeb.
Don't shoot! Sorry, I beg your pardon? This poor man.
Candy doesn't even know how water bottles work. I just noticed that there's a little head sway with this animation, and I really like it.
Oh, yeah.
It's very subtle, but there's enough, like, movement, whereas this would normally be a static pose. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind?
Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction is somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and a fire poker, I seem to recall.
Oh, dear God, sir.
Ouch.
Woman's aim is uncanny. She landed a direct hit with a... Good grief, woman. Not at home now, this is a court of law.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Oh, dear me. Ever so sorry, dear.
He's just gonna drink tea out of his tobacco pipe. That's
It's
how
also
baseball players
just
do it.
soaked his tobacco, too. So his tobacco can't even be used right
Well, now he has chewing tobacco.
Oh.
Coffee flavored chewing tobacco.
No.
I think it's
That's tea.
I think it's tea, but
That was a teapot, not a coffee pot.
Oh, yeah, tea. Sorry, I forgot the time period we were in.
soggy tea tobacco.
Delicious. I think
Tea-bacco.
I think there's a Kit Kat flavor of that. Or sorry, an Oreos flavor that's soggy tea.
Oh
tobacco.
god.
There's a Kit Kat, but it's only available in Taiwan.
Yeah.
What's she even doing with the teapot in here?
Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously.
Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that happened, hmm?
Your pipe, sir.
I had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did. Yes. I went to pick the thing up, and it was broken in two. Like to see a sponge do that sort of damage.
I see, your pipe was broken.
My tobacco pipe, my wind pipe, would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now.
Hopefully it'll make a full recovery soon.
It's on the mend now, as you can see.
Oh, you all want to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? I love the little spin that he does with the pipe.
Oh yeah.
Huh. I wonder what we should make of this account.
That doesn't matter.
Could be important. Nope. That is more confidence than I had. The defense believes Mr. Garrett's remarks just now to be of great significance.
Objection!
The most important point of this whole case.
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony.
Indeed. Common sense, one might say.
I think maybe the emphasis was supposed to be on wisdom more than sentimental there, but...
Yeah, well. Might one?
This is why professional voice actors do multiple takes.
Yeah, but we don't have time for that or we'll never finish.
Oh yeah, we'll never finish if we do that.
If I fuck up and I notice, I try to, like, lean into it and fuck it up more. And then just pretend it didn't happen.
In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe? Let me examine your pipe, sir.
May I take your pipe, sir?
Huh? Well, I don't see why not.
Full of tea.
Oh, damn American. You can try to ingratiate yourself with a young lady. I knew it was going to be something to the effect of, oh, you're going to let her look at your pipe?
Very well. The court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence.
All right, let's.
Are you
invest-
letting young ladies accept your pipe?
I hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruto. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down.
Oh no, it's fine. That statement didn't make me feel worse about it. Thanks to Suzato-san, we may have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully.
Yeah, like take the bandage off. Maybe there are knife marks in it.
Oh my god. Oh, actually, wait. There's a chip on
There's
the
a
other side.
knock in it.
Yeah.
There's a chip
Or a
missing.
notch.
Yeah, gonna
looks
knock
to
an
be in a sorry
gonna
state.
knock an arrow in this bad boy.
It looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? But for some reason, it feels slightly ominous to me. Like it's trying to shout out a warning.
I'm filled with tea.
Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Garrett's dressing gown.
I suppose it must have considerable sentimental value to Mr. Garrett, given that he has gone to the trouble of repairing it. Well, repairing's a strong word.
Either that or he can't afford to replace it. Yeah, there is a little notch. There's a small nick out of the bowl here. Look. It appears to have been made relatively recently.
And see how there are little scrapes and dents all over it? It's clearly a well-loved pipe.
Yeah, you're right. Mr. Garrett really likes to 420 pack those bowls. It seems to me recently that being well-loved goes hand in hand with, getting some battle scars.
Some people are just into that.
But
This particular Nick is catching my eye, though. Nick Jonas.
Oh, I was gonna actually make a phoenix. Because they call him Nick too.
see, I just kept thinking about Nick at night because he looks like a moon.
Every time I look at Garrett, it makes me think of reruns of the George Lopez show. It's clearly new. Alright.
And on the bottom?
Alright, can we examine it?
Oh, you.
Oh.
Oh, you.
Oh!
That's the tip of the blade.
Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there.
Yeah, I saw it. Something's stuck in there, I think.
I'm gonna shove my fingers in it. Let's turn it over and give it a shake.
My finger! Oh, there's blood everywhere now!
this?
It's a tiny fragment of metal.
It looks like the tip of a blade or something.
Preposterous.
Or was that you?
Yeah, I think that was
That's
Susato saying that,
absolutely-
actually.
Yeah.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Surely it couldn't be.
Now we just take that and we shove it into the regular blade.
The tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of Mr. Garredip's pipe.
It looks like the tip of a blade or something.
The tip of a blade.
Deja vu.
That doesn't ring any bells.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto?
I don't really know. There's just something niggling me, but I can't quite put my finger on the tip of what it is.
Perhaps. in that
Especially not
case,
this tip.
It would be a wise choice to examine some of the other pieces of evidence again.
Nah.
That's a good tip, Miss Susato.
Just like this metal one.
I think we've reached a tipping point.
God.
Walk it on the knife's edge here, Mr. Inosuke.
Oh. Oh, look here, Mister. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Look, Miss Naruto, just the tip.
Just at the tip?
A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
Just the tip. Wait, part of it's missing?
Which
Yeah,
part?
just the tip.
Which part is missing? I can't tell.
I could be wrong, but I've just got a feeling. You remember this?
Ah, that's
The tip! Yeah! The tiny, tiny fragment
this
of metal
is
that
my
we found.
line. You.
Sorry, I'm thinking about tips.
I'm so happy we're doing this again.
Comedy gold. This is.
I'm so happy we're doing this after not having done it for a few weeks.
Yeah.
That's the tiny fragment of metal that we found in Mr. Garredeb's pipe.
Yes, and just maybe.
Oh my, it's a perfect fit. I hate everything.
Somehow, I just knew it.
So bad.
Cool. We've established this and it's written.
It's all coming
Oh
together.
no, they did rewrite it. Yeah.
Oh,
It's all coming together.
I do like the twinkle twinkle little blade.
Yeah. Judge?
Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garredip. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter.
What can you... I had a moment where I was going to say it with a Spanish pronunciation, and then I realized that wasn't right.
No.
What can you tell... What can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim?
Many knives. So many. We have so many knives.
I'm made of knives. Sorry, would you care to elaborate?
Nothing to say, really. I sit on a throne of knives. Rather partial to a spot of carving, you see. Pipes and whatnot. Fishing tackle. You know, the sort of thing.
A passion we both share. I like to carve up my husband, little wooden trinkets too. And then there's my leather work, the bodies of my victims.
Sorry to say, we're always losing knives about the place. We have dozens of the things.
Can't afford a new pipe, but you can buy knives?
Yes. Yet they sell them at the market sometimes, 20 for a price of 19. And next day I snap them up. What? What?
What kind of
See-
psychopath?
He piece of steak, and I guess he stabs a part of it, like one hand and then he cuts it with the other and then
No, he just holds the two steak knives like chopsticks
Ugh.
and just picks up like walnuts and stuff out of a bowl and eats them.
Wow.
John prefers to use 2 knives at meal times too, instead of a knife and fork.
Gee, Mr. Garrett,
Why does
why does your wife let you use 2 knives?
No, Joan. We don't want people to think I'm...
Here we go again with the scaldings.
Oh, do you think that's a joke because scalding and scolding?
Could be.
Possibly. Why are they being so evasive?
I imagine it's because they don't want to believe it. They can't bear the thought that it might have been one of their knives that injured the victim.
Which is entirely understandable, of course, but still.
Go on with your testimony, witnesses. Sir!
It was one of yours on the job.
You have a job proving it!
I mean, we can press this, or we can just do it.
We might have to press it though, so I would always just press it just to be sure.
Yeah.
So you have no intention of admitting that it was your knife, unless we can produce proof. Even though there is no other credible possibility if Mr. Natsume is innocent. What? Even though there is no other credible possibility if Mr. Natsume is innocent?
Objection!
You forgot, my friend. Oh, dropped learned, huh?
Yes.
It has yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack.
As if I could forget. Only there was some way to know who had handled the knife. But I suppose wizardry like that is just a dream.
Perhaps you're thinking of fingerprinting, Mr. Naruhodo.
What? You mean it's not a dream? That sort of wizardry really exists?
Whenever people touch anything, they leave behind a unique pattern from their skin, so they say.
But I can't see anything.
There are already countries in the world where these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence. Lord Strongheart is currently discussing the matter at the Ministry of Justice.
I'm pretty sure in ancient China, they literally used fingerprints to seal documents. Like, at least that's what I learned in my forensics class.
I would
Yes.
not be surprised.
I believe we are rapidly approaching the era of scientific methods of investigation.
But for now, we shall have to find an alternative method of proving our assertion that this knife was found in the victim's bag, originally Mr. Paradep's house.
If only I could transplant this whole incident to several years in the future. This whole game exists because he didn't want to do another Ace Attorney game where he had to worry about gloves and fingerprints. It's an Ace Attorney case, and the victim's fingerprints are on the murder weapon.
Shocking.
That's the extent of their testimony, is it?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I think we've heard all this before, to be honest. I can't say I'm particularly confident that we'll be able to prove anything new from this testimony.
But in this cross-examination, it's absolutely essential that we establish how this knife came to be at the scene of the incident.
You were kind of non-committal. I wasn't sure if we're going to have a second part of that sentence or not.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, listen, sometimes my mind just thinks of sentences in, like, parts, and I never know if it's going to continue or not. I'm sure both of them must be feeling really worried. Worried that it was, in fact, a knife belonging to one of them that caused the victim's injury.
If if we could find even a tiny shred of evidence inside another piece of evidence to support that theory, it would clinch this trial for us. It would explain everything.
Yeah, it would.
If only we had some kind of magical tip that would lead us in the right direction.
Hmm. I have a thought, and I just can't figure out what it is, but it's like at the tip of my tongue.
All of the thoughts and pipes and tips. So, for Soseki-san's sake, we must find that last crucial piece of evidence.
And touch it with our bare hands.
Yep. Yep.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Yep.
Yep. Now the question is, do we show?
I think the jackknife, because now it says the tip of which has been broken off.
Yeah, I think my guess is probably either one would be acceptable.
My inclination is that you have to establish the tip first. This tip of this blade.
Because it does also look like the descriptions for both of them have been updated to reference the other.
Yeah, I personally.
Yeah, the only one I think that doesn't do it is the pipe itself.
Yeah.
So, just the tip then?
Just the tip.
Just the tip, sure.
Mr. Garadeb, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please?
You can ask, but I can't see it, bully thing.
You can't?
Used to call me Dead-Eye Deb back in the regiment, of course. Some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I struggle to tell a B from a D, and a P from a Q, to be honest.
Oh, it does, dearie me, if I where I'm being asked about every other letter and every other word.
You must D very dust. Wow. Rude. Very rude, actually.
Holy shit!
Alright, Renosuke.
Wow. What the hell, man?
You must D very dizzy.
Oh,
that does
You
he.
got it, does he?
What is that? A tiny scrap of metal.
Just the tip?
Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence.
Ben Zeeks is like,
Interesting.
oh my god, this kid.
Where did the defense come by this evidence?
It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garadeb's pipe.
By pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got there.
And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Council? Are you suggesting that it is in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road?
Slap. I am.
What?
When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. Alright, I forgot we have a member of the jury on the stand and we're in kangaroo court.
Yep.
You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well, then. Present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence, when paired with this fragment of metal, allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case?
My armband.
My armband. Sir, if you look at this map of the area...
I'm an attorney.
Take that!
Do you think there was actually a reverse dialogue for the knife?
Maybe.
It probably did have to be the tip.
It probably did have.
Yeah, no idea.
This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing.
A common issue with inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones.
And what of this particular knife?
No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim.
Objection.
No, that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
Oh,
Is he like clutch his heart?
Yeah. Wait, was that the right side? Or the left side he was clutching?
It looked like left side.
Oh, I didn't read that.
Good grief. Lord Von Zakes.
I don't believe it.
yeah, it's his left side, so that is
Yeah,
him
that is
clutching
his
his
left
heart.
It's also where
Why does
his
the
like.
racists have to be so hot? What heart?
No, it's over his medal or whatever that is there.
Oh, his
He's
soul
clutching.
gem.
He's clutching the space, the sort of empty
It's
space.
it's
in
over
his
it's over
chest
it's over
between
his phylactery.
Whoa.
It's between his lungs and his giant pec. That sort of empty space where something should be.
You know, the quickest way to a man's heart? Between the third and fourth ribs.
Anyway, I don't believe it.
There's like a tiny clipping issue on his glove right now, and I hate it.
Oh, now I have to hunt for it.
Wait,
Oh, his...
Oh, down-
The clutching glove.
down near the base?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh my god, stop being so hot.
The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal.
Why are you doing a JoJo
A
pose?
perfect match.
Good golly gosh! Order! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery?
Santa. This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle.
A miracle?
On
Does that make him a
34th
s-
Street.
So Von Zeeks has figured it out, has he?
Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once.
Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garrett's pipe?
Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony. Oh my god, the shaking animation.
Dear me.
During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garrett flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrett, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time.
Which caused the tip to break off, of course.
Good lord!
Yes, and that was when the tiny tip of the blade found its way in Mr. Garrett's pipe.
The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1.
And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out the open window.
Ugh.
In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garredeb's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below.
Oh gosh, oh dear, oh. no! The little box is
Objection.
cute. He loves his Grim Reaper wine so much.
A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that.
Much like this wine that I'm drinking right now.
But how are the tannins?
A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points, plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage.
We get it. You're a wine freak.
Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument.
Sorry, this metaphor is getting a little away from you.
Just go with it. But after all, it is just a theory. A game theory.
Thanks for watching.
Sorry. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see... What?
The leg.
The leggy. It's spoiled by an insurmountable inconsistency.
An insurmountable... What?
Lord Van Sieks, explain yourself. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified?
An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back.
Yes, in her...
Right, you silly little man.
That Jono thing. What are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck her had fallen from above, there's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back.
She bent over to pick up the book.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to prove now.
And that's why the book was in her hand.
Yeah. Yep.
Order! Order!
What? You see, it's exactly right. If not had fallen from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head.
Or her shoulder. Well, Huh. That was not hard to read. We could have just read it.
Yes, but...
What was that you were saying? Speak up!
It would appear that the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder.
But not.
If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Your theory, my learned friend, is history.
Stop being hot. He's kind of what I always pictured Lestat in the various Interview with the Vampire Anne Rice novels as looking like. And then I was very thoroughly disappointed with the Interview with the Vampire movie as a child. Because I did not think that either of the actors were particularly vampires.
We were so close. Could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track.
Remember.
Now the way has been blocked
Simba.
completely. Dad?
Rinosuke. Remember.
Dad, wake up.
Stop.
It's just Kazuma, but a furry version of Kazuma in the sky.
Oh, God.
But now the way has been blocked completely by just one simple inconsistency easily cleared up. Or in other words, I guess that's you.
We simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency and the theory will stand.
Miss Usato.
You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key is in the court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there.
Wait, present itself? Bending over? I figured it out, thank you. So immature.
Well, and in my mind it was just like it's just like the messages say, finger butt hole. Anyway, seems you have nothing to say, my friend.
No hidden path ahead, Mr. Naru.
Liar ahead, but praise message.
If I were you, I would be wary of left.
Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed.
A flawed theory.
Objection.
Oh, I just realized he's been saying objection and not yes.
Oh yeah, no, he's been doing that since his first trial in England. Oh god. It means I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes!
Hey, there's your yes.
Yeah.
If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way it could have hit the victim in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is.
What are you implying?
There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness.
Utter madness.
Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak.
Like the judge being like, there's no way you can keep
Yeah,
pulling this shit
there's
out.
no way there's anything else after this. Come on.
Don't underestimate how much I'm not going to finish that sentence. This is the last inconsistency, the final piece of the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. I feel like the emphasis on there wasn't supposed to be on bare.
Finally, it can be laid bare.
Finally, it can be laid bare.
It's gonna be the photo of her holding it, but like the close
Yeah.
up of her.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I figured.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason for it to be a second photograph and not just two parts of the same evidence.
Right.
Take that!
This, the fourth book found at the scene, is the final piece of evidence the defense will present.
Book?
Is that not Mr. Garadeb's book?
Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it would be at the scene in the first place.
So let's start from the beginning.
This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand.
But as we all now know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that.
Quite so, as a part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road.
That's true. However, as part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. Hubbub, hubbub, hubbub.
Hubbub?
Oh, I just realized he was Armin.
Yeah, ding ding.
In other words, the victim had already picked the book up of her own volition. And clearly, that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. She suffered.
Before she suffered the knife wound.
Just went full Connery for a moment.
Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd be doing much of anything.
So the question becomes, why did the victim have the book in her hand?
But, Jingo?
Yes, Jingo.
I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Oh, dear me.
We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Garrideb household onto the pavement below. At precisely the moment that the victim was walking past.
Yes, at exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, the book fell right in front of her.
Book of fruit.
Shut up. And yes, Mrs. Garrideb.
Jeez, Renosuke.
I don't know why. I just
Calm
really
down.
wanted to interrupt somebody.
calm down, man. First
Why do you think
you
the
make fun
woman
of Garrideb not being able to tell D's and B's apart, now this.
What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement?
Just went Dave spokesman there.
Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down. Oh, this is a really huge
Oh, look at that.
And picked the book up.
Yes, that is exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book.
Oh heavens.
And when the woman reached down to pick up the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. So stabbable.
Just right for a stabbing.
Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book,
Jeez.
the next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight to the middle of her back knife. Sorry.
God.
Jackknife in the back knife.
And at that same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green,
Geez, cut me a little slack knife.
was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume.
Well, I never.
It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark and fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above.
Oh. Oh God.
In the other
stop.
direction. The constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker.
There never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place.
No, shut up. This was nothing more than
Shut
a
up, my
series of
lord.
This is nothing more than a series of unlikely. I love the idea they just yell "shut up." Events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind the case.
Just as the Danganronpa. No, you're wrong!
Bingo bullseye right on the money. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garib, how's it feel? Murderers.
She's not dead.
Yeah, not dead.
Very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wonder if perhaps it might have been something like that.
Hello, Bean.
Would call me. Poor Mrs. Garadab. Of course, I don't admit anything like that sort of happened, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? Take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw that knife as well.
It's more the knife than the book, really.
Well, if she hadn't thrown the book, then the woman wouldn't have bent over.
Causing women to bend over for books is not a crime.
John dear.
Dropping knives from above. If she hadn't dropped the book, the knife would have stabbed her in the brain.
Or shoulder.
because she had to
It might have
in order
missed
to
even
bend
actually.
over.
She might have
Would've
been
missed
by
her.
the time. It might have hit Natsume.
It probably would have killed Natsume, actually.
Yeah, we've killed lots of it.
Man, what would Rolly B have thought of that? He just sees a knife fly.
It's all right. I know.
I'd like to think we'd have to do the trial in
Aw.
reverse.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry.
Joan, that was... You dropped... it. We don't have enough money to replace the tea set.
Oh
my God.
Sad.
I don't have enough money to replace the hips either.
Oh, my back.
Lord Van Zeeks, what news of Mrs. Garrity?
Did we have a bit of a time skip, or...? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events had left her in an especially flustered state. Can't imagine why. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There's no cause for concern.
The word flustered in place of comatose.
Yes, unbeknownst, I don't know how to say that in this voice. They caused what could have easily been another terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the
What is my voice turning into? Jesus Christ.
Ah.
Oh. They shall have to prepare themselves for...
What? I'm
Scottish.
turning Scottish. I'm gonna turn Scottish.
Scottish
Oh, yeah.
Santa Claus.
They'll have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions.
But they'll never take our Independence Day.
There is some good news, however, my lord. I've just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. It's the same hospital, actually, funny enough. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon.
It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her. Armband.
How wonderful. The woman is out of danger, it seems.
Yes, this is good news. That was a good line. I got it.
So, Mr. Soseki Natsume,
Oh shit, Dom's not here.
Someone's got to do it. Who thinks they can do a Dom impression?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the victim, I just imagine the victim coming back from consciousness and just being like,
Oh yeah.
it was him. And then it's like,
I
"We just got
stabbed
a
myself
confession."
in the back.
The book picked up the knife and stabbed me.
It was the book that did it.
The book was having an affair with the pipe
Yes.
and left the note.
on behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture. That is a sentence. and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please, accept our heartfelt apologies.
No, it is me who should be begging your pardon.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Oh no, Mr. Natsume.
That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes.
We're in the clear. Don't say anything you don't have to say.
As your lawyer.
I jumped to the wrong conclusion again, in my confusion.
What conclusions, sir?
I was sure that the woman was dead.
Yeah, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too.
I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless.
It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. Sure, there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me.
Hey, it's time for you to get off the stand, Mr. Natsume. Poor Seki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. Somebody should advise him to not testify any further.
Yeah, poor man.
I wonder who that falls to.
I wonder whose job that is. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help! Doctor, for the police!
Should have. There is no denying that this is something you should have done.
Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for
Hold
that,
yourself to that high regard.
I'm truly sorry.
One could indeed say that some sort of naughty spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps.
I love that book series.
Chain of unfortunate mishaps.
We were befooled by this spirit and led to false conclusions.
I like that word, befooled.
But thanks to Lord Von Zeeks and our young lawyer here from the east, he has a name.
I have a name!
My friends. Gimli,
Stop.
Gandalf, and that one.
Stop.
That chain has now been broken, and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both.
Oh,
You should just like, oh, what? Yeah, right.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
That was too many syllables.
I just started making noises and then I read it.
In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As former Papa.
Claire, truth can be extremely cruel at times.
Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm here. Sitting in for the old beam while she's out of action, you know. But I know what a decision would be.
That's how court works. Excuse me, my wife is asleep. Can I vote for her?
My wife is
I
asleep
know
and
what you
also
would
the
want.
kind of the one guilty here, so I'm gonna step in.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna step in for my murderer wife in this jury.
Again,
Not
Victor's
dead.
Not dead.
Not dead.
Do you think that victim is going to, like, even if they make a full recovery, do you think they're not going to die in another case?
I think they're gonna get stabbed
Before we can
again
learn.
and survive again. That's my call.
That'd be good.
It's just going to keep happening. Every third case is just this woman being stabbed and falling into a coma.
Also, I fucking called it.
Called what?
The knife. The knife. She threw the knife.
Yes, you did.
Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time.
I say, I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I?
You see, the Eastern man started casting a spell, pulled knives out of pipes. It was really something.
Oh god.
Oh, great, mighty corker of a story, I tell you what.
I think the man's wife started spontaneous combustion.
The man's wife was a pyromancer, you never believe it.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
The only one whose voice was actually very, very different was Foreman and
Old man.
Old Man.
Yeah, old man was a bit huskier than I was doing. Everyone on the jury is a pyromancer? True. Conditionally, though.
Yes.
They-
See, it's actually the bar that all of the jurors sit at. It's
Yeah.
actually
No, this
enchanted.
place is enchanted, is what it is, yeah.
Once they leave and they're no longer a member of the jury, they can no longer use.
Exactly.
They're DS1 pyromancy, so they just grab the flame and start using it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need any stats for it, but it's connected to the chair. You can't take it away from the chair.
One might argue that putting souls into it is better than actually leveling up.
Hmm.
Very well, Mr. Soseki Natsume. I hereby pronounce you
Man and what?
not and guilty.
Pronunciation.
You may now kiss yourself.
Oh god, these fireworks are way too close to people.
My eyes.
You're giving Mr. Garrett war flashbacks.
Oh Christ.
And finally, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, yes, Lord Sir.
You are a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me.
Oh, yes, sir. Of course.
I mean it.
On my life, I swear I'll never set foot, not step foot. I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm
Stepping on the foot.
Right foot, left stomp.
transported to tears.
Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned.
In case, I guess.
Again, Zeeks.
I imagine Dom may watch the VOD for this. I hope I'm doing him justice, Dom.
Hey, Van Zeeks, how them apples feel like? Them, how do you like them apples? Is that what the British people say?
I don't.
Would you like some apples with that shake? Is that
No.
the right one?
No.
Oh, maybe you would understand wine jokes?
Oh, Locum.
I'm just picturing now Von Zeeks doing like wine mom memes.
He has to live, laugh, love in his house.
He just pulls out his chalice and it's like,
5 o'clock somewhere in the world.
I need a larger holy chalice for this.
wait, you mean me?
Of course! Is there another Locum here?
That's a animation.
Welcome.
Is there even one?
compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it?
What's wrong with using my actual name?
It's not a great one.
Oh, at last, I'm free! I'm free! A joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation!
Please don't say those words.
Heady, hearty happiness, hurrah! What?
God, just the joyous jubilation, and he does full, like, hip thrust, and it's like, sir. Oh, I'm so pleased. Mr. Natsume is delighted.
Would it be so hard to just say that then?
Locum, you did it. You saved me from the brink.
Oh, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault after all. I'm just glad that everybody can see that now.
No, not that. Lovely, loyal locum lawyer.
Yes.
I mean, as I said before, I've just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings. And from high up windows, I see them looking down on me laughing. Look at that little hunchback.
Dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume.
But today, you, local lawyer, gave my gloom the boot.
Is that legal?
You stood firm behind that baronial bench before all those babbling British.
Is that legal?
You battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed.
Oh, those aren't effects.
Oh, those are diegetic, I
Those are-
see.
That's awful. This is so dangerous.
Behold, the best barrister ever born!
Best barista.
Best barista ever born!
Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. You're
Yeah.
rubbing off on me.
This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan.
Ah, an anecdote. Is that what's to become of all my hard work?
I feel like it's gonna be Herlock.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
I have a suspicion it's Herlock.
I think you've actually done Herlock before, right?
Yeah.
Me? I have, yeah.
Yes. So take it away.
Sure. Ah, there you are, my dear fellows.
I was right.
I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning.
Oh, Jones, what a pleasure to see you.
I see I am here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say.
Oh,
It's like a smoother Gyarados is basically what I'm doing. The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best of luck.
It's just finished.
What? No. Then my haste was in vain?
That's your problem?
Ah, it's you! Look, Sholmes! Oh, have we met, sir?
This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholm.
Ah, I see. Failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom. Either of your bleak lodgings or that prison cell.
I read all your books, by the way.
I did. I read every single one of them. Simply couldn't place that curious face in the light.
I actually fell
Wow.
asleep in your house.
That is a harsh burn.
That is
I
kind of
couldn't
harsh, yeah.
Picture your face out in the light.
charming.
This is all your fault, Herlock Sholmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind! My apologies, sir, but I assure you, I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Ah! Had she been taken to a hospital more urgently, I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh.
Defense, there was a police officer there.
Mm.
But he didn't know that.
But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human, after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind. Now then, what was it that you wanted to say to me, sir? Nothing.
Herlock Sholmes is such
Wow.
a smarmy.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I mean, he's great. I love him dearly, but he really just guilted him.
He did,
so
yeah.
He wouldn't talk crap about him.
I think this was a matter of he was like weighing, like, do I want to deal with this? No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut this down. Put the kibosh on this right now.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, this is a scene I think Corbin should see.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Priceless. Oh, I am sorry, really, but that was quite priceless.
Poor Soseki-san.
You just traumatized this man.
Oh
for
my God.
funsies.
Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny.
I bet you'll have dreams of women collapsing in the streets for the rest of your life.
And it would seem you were not even found guilty. But there is no bright side.
Or do you mean, Mr. Natsume?
Even after this, I'm still cursed. By the spirits. And now by the Reaper!
Ah, Lord Von Zeeks.
I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you're found not guilty, you're still doomed!
It will be alright, Mr. Natsume.
Hmm?
If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I'll protect you.
Oh no!
It's back, baby. With a perfectly executed Susato takedown. Turn and look as he's shaking. Oh, it's so good.
Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Miss Susato.
You just gotta learn to, like, react better.
If I warn you, you'll tense up and break your neck.
Yeah.
You just gotta get good, learn how to dodge.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan?
Yes! I intend to return to my homeland soon. It has already been a year since...
It sounded like I had two voices.
Hmm? What?
Jordan did this line at the exact same time as me, so just was like, yeah, I just had a thing in my throat, made it sound like I had two voices.
It's already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here, and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it.
That's so touching, Mr. Natsume.
Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, You wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse? That's not it at all! The more I learn of literature, the more this strange feeling claws at my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own.
I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Could be an interesting read.
And what about Miss Sasato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry, what about us?
That's what I asked. Will you return to Japan alongside your mustache compatriot?
Why would we?
A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London. And only now does it feel as though we finally found our feet. Although, not a place to live yet, so...
And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not?
That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us.
I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted.
Well then, you could take my lodgings.
Oh, the windowless room.
How thoughtful.
Ah, but what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up for with a floor, a ceiling, and walls.
Great.
Yeah.
And of course, I'd be happy to believe... To believe? I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit!
Quick, Susato, how much soap can we steal from the hotel?
Oh my, an evil spirit?
Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's an infallible wake-up call.
I'm pretty sure that's the cat, because that's happened to me plenty of times. It's definitely the cat that's in your apartment.
What cat? There's no cat in there!
What's a cat?
Oh, you mean my lucky cat statue?
No, like your literal, actual, factual cat.
No, there's just an evil spirit that eats food. Good looking. It's something about it being all right.
Perhaps I can offer a more
Actually-
welcome alternative.
I realized I didn't actually read the last line.
Ah.
Well, think about it if that's all right.
Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me?
Sorry. Discuss this with my partner, but yes. Really?
Well, vacancy has conveniently presented its own.
I don't like that phrase.
Oh no. Though it is up in the attic, I might add.
Are you sure this isn't just a storage loft?
I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of. I was the luggage.
I do come with baggage, though. This is simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited to taking lodgings with the great detective office's attic.
Something like that.
I'm too overcome for words.
So suggesting we look elsewhere is out.
Yeah.
Then it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must too. You must come too, Mr. Natsume. I insist.
So for making
I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes.
Wonderful. Then I'll go complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shan't take long. Did you like my little British in there?
Somebody's happy. Somebody's pleased with themselves.
Just use some English slang. Shan't.
So
Welcome.
foreign.
I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London.
Likewise, Mr. Natsume. It's been a privilege meeting you two. It's a shame that we're gonna have to say goodbye so soon.
Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But, welcome! We'll meet again one day.
Locum D's nuts. Yes, I'm sure.
Oh, you got me.
And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer.
I mean,
I
are you
have
not?
a 100% win rate so far,
I
but
was
you know.
gonna say, can you not consider yourself a successful lawyer right now?
Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author.
I didn't say that, though.
Didn't say what?
Literally anything. You just responded to a statement I didn't make.
Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived.
Does it have rockets on it?
It might. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, Mr. Sholmes.
I've little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening.
And so, with Saseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street. Free garlic?
Oh
Those
yeah,
are
look.
onions.
I think that's garlic.
Those are absolutely onions, not garlic.
Oh, those are definitely
Are they
onions.
onions?
Free onions? Yeah, because they have the little sprouty bits at the stem.
And also, that's
Ah.
like they're like golden onions.
Got it. Okay.
They look like molding onions, but you know.
It's just dark.
So this.
Mm-hmm. It's to be your new office. Yes.
Our office? I rather like the sound of that.
Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it?
I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step. But I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now.
Maybe unsheath the sword so you can see it.
Oh, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Oh my god.
No! Oh god!
Oh.
Oh, my heart! I can't.
Oh no, he's hot!
Oh.
Holy shit.
God. Oh no!
That's,
It's the vest. You can't do me like that with the vest, sir. Please. And the rolled up sleeves too. No.
Naruhodo just pulls out a cigarette. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, thank you so much.
Oh god. Daddy. Sorry. Daddy. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. It's getting a little hot in here.
Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
I hope everyone's hungry. Nearly time for dinner.
Yes. Yes.
No, but everyone is thirsty.
We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate.
Mr. Natsume is going to die in transit.
Mr. Peter.
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 Iris.
The poison
you
for
must
Cusco.
Let me help you.
I'm sorry that you've had to voice every other person in this ending. This denouement is nothing but you doing
It's
voices.
fine, it's fine. It's fun.
It's fine.
Why'd you pull out a gun when you said you can be in charge of the salad? Why would you do that?
Alright then, Susie. You can be in charge of the salad. Use this.
Deserters will be shot.
Great. What's a salad?
I keep the salad dressing in this. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel?
I'm gonna say nothing about the ranch gun you've just invented. I'm just gonna do nothing with that.
You turn the knob and it goes from ranch to Caesar.
And then you turn it a third time and it becomes mayonnaise. There are only white dressings in here.
Oh my god. Do you have your own office in the capital?
It's very exciting, actually. I can't help but wondering. Try that again. I can't help wondering what adventures await us. I only messed up once. Shut up.
Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Down to getting the wrong words and everything. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is.
Sorry?
London is a glorious place, full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows.
Oh, are you Kingdom Hearts fan too?
Oh, gosh, Mr. Holmes. Shadows. What do you mean?
Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies beyond London's facade already. So once again, Mr. Naruhodo. That was a nice bow. Welcome to London.
Father.
Hmm?
London, land of fathers. A lot of daddies here. Strongheart, Sholmes, Zeeks. We have a lot of daddies here. At the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words that Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lied behind it.
Whoa. We did it!
We did it! Congratulations!
Case 4 is finished!
Achievable unlocked.
First try. And next is the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yes. Haha.
The adventure.
The
the adventure of
I
the
think maybe I'll
unspeakable
play
story. The adventure of the unspeakable story is actually what it's called.
Yes. The question is, do we leave the animation for the next time everybody gets all together so we can all see it together?
I think maybe that would be best, actually.
Works
Yeah.
for me.
As much as I want to just see the opening for it, I might as well just wait.
Yeah,